Good evening, Carl, and yeah, once more from Recording Studio Oxford. The sun's finally gone down, the summer heat's bleeding out into the sky. Wish I could show you this. Last time we left off, um, Rikki Tikki Tavi was engaged in the last fight with Nagaina, that's Nag's wife. We seem to have a plane going overhead, and now we'll continue. And because he had reached the cobra nest in the melon patch. It was not a day too soon, he said, for he could see the baby cobras curled up inside the skin, and the minute they were hatched they could each kill a man or a mongoose. He bit the tops off the heads as fast as he could, taking care to crush the young cobras, and turned the litter from time to time to see whether he had missed any. At last there were only 3 eggs left, and Rikki Tikki began to chuckle to himself when he heard Darzy's wife screaming, "Rikki Tikki, I led Nagaina towards the house, and she's gone to the veranda, and, oh, come quickly, she means killing." Rikki Tikki smashed 2 eggs, tumbled back on the melon bed with the third egg in his mouth, and scuttled to the veranda as hard as he could put the foot to the ground. Teddy and his mother and his father were there at early breakfast, but Rikki Tikki saw they were not eating anything. They sat stone still, and their faces were white. Nagaina was coiled up on the matting by Teddy's chair, within striking distance of Teddy's bare leg, and she was swaying to and fro and singing a song of triumph. "Son of the big man that killed Nag," she hissed, "stay still. I'm not ready yet. Wait a little. Keep very still, all you 3. If you move, I strike, and if you do not move, I strike. O foolish people who killed my Nag." Teddy's eyes were fixed on his father, and all his father could do was whisper, "Stay still, Teddy. You mustn't move. Teddy, keep still." Then Rikki Tikki came up and cried, "Turn around, Nagaina. Turn and fight." "All in good time," she said without moving eyes. "I will settle my account with you presently. Look at your friends, Rikki Tikki. They are still in white. They are afraid. They dare not move, and if you come a step nearer, I strike." "Look at your eggs," said Rikki Tikki, "in the melon bed near the wall. Go and look, Nagaina." The big snake turned half round and saw the egg on the veranda. "Ah, give it to me," she said. Rikki Tikki put his paw on either side of the egg, and his eyes were blood red. What price for a snake's egg? For young cobra? For young king cobra? For the very last of the broods? The ants are eating all the others down by the melon bed. Nagaina spun clear around, forgetting everything for the sake of the 1 egg. Rikki Tikki saw Teddy's father shoot out a big hand, catch Teddy by the shoulder, and drag him across the little table with the teacups safe and out of the reach of Nagaina. "Tricked, tricked, tricked! Rick-tick-tick!" chuckled Rikki Tikki. "The boy is safe, and it was I that caught Nag by the hood last night in the bathroom." Then he began to jump up and down, all feet together, his head close to the floor. "He threw me to and fro, but he could not shave me off. He was dead before the big man blew him in two. I did it. Rikki Tikki. Come then, Nagaina, come and fight with me. You shall not be a widow long." Nagaina saw she had lost the chance of killing Teddy, and the egg lay between Rikki Tikki's paws. "Give me the egg, Rikki Tikki. Give me the last of my eggs, and you will never come back, and I will go away, and I will never come back," she said, lowering her hood. "Yes, you will go away, and you'll never come back, for you will go to the rubbish heap with Nag. Fight, widow. The big man has gone for his gun. Fight." Rikki Tikki was bounding all round Nagaina, keeping just out of reach of her stroke, his little eyes like hot coals. Nagaina gathered herself round and flung out at him. Rikki Tikki jumped up and backwards. Again and again and again she struck, and each time her head came with a whack on the matting on the veranda, and she gathered herself up like a watch spring. Then Rikki Tikki danced in a circle to get round behind her, and Nagaina spun round to keep her head to his head, so that the little rustle of her tail on the matting sounded like dry leaves blown along by the wind. She had forgotten the egg. It lay still on the veranda. Nagaina came nearer and nearer to it, till at last, when Rikki Tikki was drawing breath, she caught it in her mouth, turned down the veranda steps, and flew like an arrow down the path, and with Rikki Tikki behind her. When the cobra runs for her life, she goes like whiplash flipped across a horse. Now Rikki Tikki knew that he must catch her, or all the trouble would begin again. She headed straight for the long grass by the thorn bush, and as he was running, Rikki Tikki heard Darzy singing his foolish little song of triumph. But Darzy's wife was wiser. She flew off her nest as Nagaina came along, and flapped her wings about Nagaina's head. If Darzy had helped, they might have turned her, but Nagaina only lowered her hood and went on. Still the instant's delay brought Rikki Tikki up to her, and as she plunged into the rat hole where she and Nag used to live, his little white teeth clenched on her tail, and he went down with her. And very few mongooses, however wise and old they may be, care to follow cobra into its hole. It's dark in the hall, and Rikki Tikki never knew when it might open and give out, give Nagaina room to turn and strike. He held on savagely and stuck out his feet to act as brakes in the dark slope of the hot, moist earth. Then the grass by the mouth of the hole stopped waving, and Darzee said, "It is all over with Rikki Tikki. We must sing his death song. Valiant Rikki Tikki is dead, for Nagaina will surely kill him underground." So he sang a very mournful song that he made up on the spur of the moment, and just as he got to the most touching part, the grass quivered again, and Rikki Tikki, all covered with dirt, dragged himself out of the hole by his leg, licking his whiskers. Darzee stopped with a little shout. Rikki Tikki shook some of the dust out of his fur and sneezed. "It is all over. The widow will never come out again." And the red ants that lived between the grass stems heard him and began to troop down one after another to see if he had spoken the truth. Rikki Tikki curled himself up in the grass and slept where he was, slept and slept till it was late in the afternoon, for he had done a hard day's work. "Now," he said when he awoke, "I will go back to the house. Tell the coppersmith Darzee that he will tell the garden that Nagaina is dead." The coppersmith, Carl, is a bird who makes a noise exactly like the beating of a little hammer on a copper pot. And the reason he's always making it is because he is the town crier to every Indian garden and tells all the news to everybody who cares to listen. And as Rikki Tikki went up the path, he heard his attention notes like a tiny dinner gong, and then the steady ding dong tock. "Naga's dead, dong. Nagaina's dead, ding dong tock." And that set all the birds in the garden singing and the frogs croaking, for Nagaina used to eat frogs as well as little birds. When Rikki got to the house, Teddy and Teddy's mother, and she looked very white still, for she had been fainting, and Teddy's father came out and almost cried over him. And that night he ate all that was given to him till he could eat no more. And when he went to bed on Teddy's shoulder, where Teddy's mother saw him, she came to look in at night. "He saved our lives and Teddy's life," she said to her husband. "Just think, he saved all our lives." Rikki Tikki woke up with a jump, for the mongooses are light sleepers. "Oh, it's you," he said. "What are you bothering for? All the cobras are dead, and if they weren't, I'm here." Rikki Tikki had every right to be proud of himself, but he did not grow too proud, and he kept that garden as a mongoose should keep it, with tooth and jump and spring and bite, until never a cobra dared show its head inside the walls. Well, Carl, there we come to the end of the tale of Rikki Tikki Tavi and how he fought the dread cobras. You probably don't know this, but there was a day down near the MRT station where I saw in the grass what I thought was a length of black cabling, and then it moved. It was actually a great black cobra, the kin of Nagaina. I took a video of it and I sent it to your mother, warning her to keep an eye out, and perhaps get you a mongoose too to watch over you. Well, I now close that story with Darzee's chant, sung in honor of Rikki Tikki Tavi. "Singer and tailor am I, doubles the joys I know, proud of my lilt to the sky, and proud of the house that I sew. Over and under, so weave I my music, so I weave the house that I sew. Sing your fledglings again, mother, oh lift up your head. Evil that plagued us is slain, death in the garden lies dead. Terror that hid in the roses impotent, flung on the dunghill and dead. Who delivered us, who? Tell me his name and his name. Rikki the valiant, the true, Tikki with eyeballs of flame. Rikki Tikki Tikki, the ivory fang, the hunter with eyeballs of flame. Give him the thanks of the birds, bowing with tail feathers spread. Praise him with nightingale's words. Nay, I will praise him instead. Here I will sing you the praise of the bottle-tailed Rikki with eyeballs of red." And at this point, Rikki Tikki interrupted, and the rest of the song is lost. Well, until tomorrow on the next story, Carl, which you can look forward to. It's called Tumai of the Elephants. Love you to pieces and hope you really like this one.